The Jeff Sutherland Show. Let's grow today as we learn from decades of real estate and leadership experience.
We want you to know that when you log into this show, you're going to get authentic conversation. We're going to give it to you straight, and it's going to be real. Hey everybody, Jeff Sutherland with my good friend, the great James Wilson, and he is my mentor. He's actually my sponsor in eXp Realty. This guy, before we get to the meat of it, let me just tell you real quick. He's been a sales coach for most of his career. He's got a master's in public education. He was the call center manager for Realtor.com. 22 years as a licensed real estate agent in the state of Arizona, also worked in California. He has now supervised over 7,200 transactions as the director of sales and training for the Curtis Johnson team. By the way, that's like over $1 billion of sales volume. He's also the chairman of the Arizona Broker Advisory Team for Arizona, United States Air Force veteran, another reason why I love him. And he's also an Arizona Ranger. Is that like a rap sheet or what, James?
My gosh, and you're making me feel ancient.
Well, we're going to get right at it today, James. Our audience is a bunch of real estate people around the country and leaders, and we want to share with them right off the bat. Give me like a day in the life of the great James Wilson.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. I'll tell you, I have been fortunate to get the opportunity to work with about 50 real estate agents locally here in the office. We have a small little team in Chandler, Arizona. And a day in a life really just starts out with planning the day, right? Getting 4 things on a schedule to be really clear. What are the 2 things I need to do to get new business? And what are the 2 important things I need to get done for the day? And so for me, as a director of sales and training, I'm looking to attract new talent because I happen to have a lead generation machine that kicks out about 150 new lead opportunities a week. And I need more help because if you've ever had a sponge full of water and you pour more water on it, it doesn't work so good. And so I've got 50 real estate partners that do not have capacity for more opportunities. And yet, the lead generation and marketing machine still is kicking out 150 new opportunities a week. And so it looks like, getting on the phone and prospecting and looking for people that have a real estate license already that are kind of tired of that 3 to 10 closings a year plateau, and people that really want to crush it and get out there and be coached and mentored and partnered to an escrow a week, which is over 52 closings a year. And so on the hunt for that. And at the same time, as a byproduct, I meet people that are amazing people, and they're just not in a good income opportunity. The vehicle that they're currently in might be they work at the mall, or they work at a restaurant, or they work at a gym, and they would be such good realtors. And so I'm always prospecting and looking for business. So that's really what my focus is. But start off with an 8:35 check-in with all the new people that have been here less than 30 days. They're going through a protocol of 30 days to their first escrow. And we check in 3 times a week for about 5 minutes. They have a checklist they need to go through, get their first escrow. And then at 9 o'clock, we do a quick huddle in person in the office. And it's just, hey, what are the successes you've had in the last 24 hours? And what are you going to focus on for the next 2 hours of prospecting? And we're very specific. I'm looking to have 3 asks for an appointment. I'm looking to have 5 conversations. I'm looking to do 1 social media live in this 2-hour segment. And then generally after that, we take a quick lunch break or stretch, check our email, and then we're on with the rest of the day. We either have appointments for buyers and sellers, or we actually are scheduling a shift for lead conversion. And so we still, again, we're generating so many leads that we're taking active live transfer calls from call centers. Again, I was the former call center manager at Realtor.com here in Scottsdale. And so I was in that business for over 10 years. And so converting people over the phone into appointments is a skill set that I really enjoy. And I still coach and train agents pretty much 3 days a week. They shadow me on the phone and they learn how to do that. Number one barrier I see to new agents is they just don't know what to say and they don't know what to do. And so I say, well, great. Why don't you just come shadow me? I'll teach you exactly what to do. So we want to give people the skill sets they need. And then after they watch a couple of those, they go, James, that's not that hard. I think I can do that. And I say, great. Why don't you take some calls and I'll listen to you? And we do that. We trade off a little bit. And then, afternoons, evenings are appointments. Yesterday evening, 4:15, had a seller appointment. that's what day in a life is. You just never know what we're going to do every day. Appointments in the afternoon and evenings. In the mornings, we're out looking for business, hunting.
So if you just joined us, I'm on with the great James Wilson. He's my sponsor. You can now see why I joined up with these guys 8 years ago when I started with EXP, because they basically teach us all how to get one escrow a week. That's what James and I do every day. We're teaching people how to get one escrow a week. So if you're
Yeah.
interested in that, you need to let us know. James, share a couple success stories, like, some people that you've transformed because of your training, your systems, and your accountability.
Yeah. I would say about 4 years ago, a gal came into our business from another brokerage. She had been struggling for about 8 months. She had no sales. She is an immigrant from another country. She had, when she got here, she started working at Walmart as a night stalker. If you have never had that job title, you do not have a clue. It's not just a scary TV show. Night stalker is a job description. And then her husband, who works at Intel still, where Jeff used to work, he said, "Look, you need to get a business." And so he bought her a spa. And as owning a spa, she owned the spa for 2 years. She mostly did, I think it was mostly nail technicians and stuff at the day spa there. And then what she found at the end of 2 years was she was self employed, but she did not own a business. Yeah, it's called the spa, and yeah, it's nails and stuff, but she was just self-employed and she was not getting leverage. And she wanted to do real estate. She had passed her real estate test. She had a bit of a language barrier because she's an immigrant here, and English was not her main language. And she tried for 8 months at another brokerage, and a well-known brokerage, and a brokerage well known for training, because all new people think they just need training. Actually, what you need is you need implementation and execution. Training's great, but I will tell you this, guys, 1 hour on an appointment, 1 hour is equal to 10 hours in the classroom. Just 1 hour on the appointment. So if you want to get experience, you need to get experience. We're not going to describe the thing and talk about the thing and give you models and mind maps. No, let's go do the thing. And so 1 hour on an appointment will totally change your life. And so in 10 months, she had no sales. 4 years later, guys, she just finished her 4th year. We've been coaching and training her to build the muscle. Her first year, she did something crazy like 11 sales, which again, a home a month for a new person, it's a pretty good deal, pretty good pace, a home a month. Most agents would love a home a month. The average agent sells 3 or 4 homes a year. So she was here, did 11 homes her first year. Second year, she says, "I really want to grow this thing. How big can I grow it?" I said, "How big do you want to grow it?" She goes, "Well, I think I can do 20." She did 24 sides her second year. She said, "Okay, I'm getting a little busy. I think I want to maybe do a little less. Maybe I'll do 20." I said, "You can't do 20 because you did 24." At the time we had this conversation, she was starting her 3rd year. It was February. She'd already done 7 deals between January 1st and the first week of February in her 3rd year. I said, "There's no way you're going to do 20 deals. You're going to be at 14 deals 6 months in. There's no way." So her 3rd year, she did 38 sides in October. She had done 38 sides her 3rd year in October. She goes, "I really don't want to keep working so hard." I said, "I get it." She goes, "Well, I think I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to take 2 months off." That year, she still closed 52 sides. She went from 38 sides in October to 52 sides by the end of December. And this last year, she said, "No, I really can't. I can't. You don't understand. 53 sides." And I said, "Okay, well, how many do you think you want to do?" She goes, "Well, I don't know. I think I want to do maybe about the same." I said, "Yeah, we'll see how that goes." She just finished last year, her 4th year here, 73 closed transactions. She took 3 months off and she still did 73 sites. She goes, "Well," I asked her, I go, "What'd you do?" She goes, "I just did everything you said." I said, "Oh, okay. Just do what we just do it. Just implement." Now, I got to tell you guys, um, she had to take the action. I didn't take the action. She took the action. I just, helped steer and pulled the strings and said, "Hey, do this and more time on this and less time on that." Most real estate and salespeople spend way too much time on what I would call 80% work, the work that doesn't make you any money. And she had to learn to refocus her time and energy and not waste time on the things that don't make money. And if you say no to a lot of stuff, that clears your calendar for a lot of things like new appointments. So absolutely amazing success. And yeah, we just keep doing it. Just keep pointing out in the right direction and helping people get clear.
So you said she went from a self-employed business owner to a business owner, right? So that's Robert Kiyosaki, right? Going from quadrant two to quadrant three on the cash flow quadrant. What was different between her being a self-employed person and a business owner? What changed?
Well, one of the things that she realized was there were only so many hours in the day. So we had to find some licensed partners to help offload some of the work that she thought was really important for customer service, but it didn't make much additional money. And so we added 3 business partners to her business, and then she was like, "I get it now. Leverage. I don't have to be at every single door opening. I don't have to go to the home inspection. I don't have to be every single little place." And that was really key for her. And now as, we look to even expand beyond that, we'll probably add another 3 to 5 team members in the next 24 months, and that'll build her out to about 8 or 10 agents, and she'll have a lot more time freedom. And ultimately, she wants to be one of the first people into her home country. Our brokerage is not currently a brokerage in her country, but as soon as they are, she's lining up partners already. She's got people that are saying, as soon as you guys are in our country, we're ready to sign up. Super exciting.
That's huge. I'm going to go off script, James. This just came to my heart. So James and I have been through a transformational training through a company called Clemmer and Associates, and we actually are auditors. We can go to a class because we've gone and we're graduates of the program. And we got one coming up in Tempe next month, and they're happening around the country. James, could you share a little bit about what that's meant to you, that program? Maybe I'll share a quick story as well of what it's done to me in my career and
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, one of the things that the leadership and character development training through Brian Clemmer's company called Clemmer.com, one of the things that really helped me get clear on is that I was pretty much unconscious going through my life. I mean, I was showing up. I mean, my body was there, but mentally, I wasn't really clear in my mind as to what was I focused on and what was I trying to accomplish. I was trying to make money, trying to pay the bills, trying to exist, but I wasn't making progress. I was busy but not productive. And for me, the stress of my job had taken me to a place where I accidentally, although I don't know if I should say it that way. I mean, I did get myself to 305 pounds on the scale. And so I didn't accidentally eat anything, but I definitely was stressed out and just kind of going through life. And I realized that I probably was not going to live as long as I could at 305 pounds. And I'm 5'9". The height and weight charts say, I should weigh something like 164. That's what the Air Force always told me. You should weigh 164. And the whole time I was in the Air Force, I weighed like 184. And they said, you're 1 pound away from being on the Fat Boy program. And I was able to go from 305 pounds after the training to 168 pounds. And today, I weigh 197. Real estate, most of us, we are passionate about real estate. We live in a house. And I was raised on the Bible by my grandmother. I consider myself spiritual, not religious. But I realized if I'm a spirit being, the house that my spirit's living in is my body. And so if my body's my temple, I mean, it's not like I can rent another house. I can't get another body yet. We're not there yet. Technology is not there yet. I can't upload my operating system to a new body yet. And so I need to take care of the temple I have. And so anyway, I was able to release weight, didn't lose weight. I released it. I didn't want to find it, didn't want to lose it and go find it. So I went from 305 to 168. And the thing about the Clemmer training is it helped me get really clear on the prices that I was paying for not being conscious and not proactively leading myself in my life and my family. And so the things that got me excited about the training that was available was number one, it was lifetime tuition. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they said, as long as we're in business, you can re-audit this class, no charge, unlimited number of times. Now, I've been 27 times because I started the training in 2006 and it's 2026. So over 20 years, I've re-audited this class 20. I like to go back to basics about once a year. And because I'm a new person every year, I have a new awareness and new goals and new passions. And so I go back once a year at a minimum. And then the other thing that I loved about the program was They had a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I attend a 2.5-day weekend course on leadership and self-development, and I have 30 days to decide if it was worth what I paid. And if it's not worth what I paid, I can get a refund. And they guarantee me that I will increase my capacity to love by 100%. Now, I don't know about you, but at 62, I want more love in my life. I've always wanted more love in my life from the time I was born until every single day of my life. I always wanted to feel loved and appreciated and celebrated. I hate feeling rejected. I hate feeling not wanted. And if I could feel more love in my life, I'm all about that. And so I signed up and enrolled in the course for me, and they guaranteed me that I could increase my capacity to love by 100%, 30-day money back guarantee, lifetime tuition. Oh my gosh. I went to that class Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was so excited. I said, "When's the next class? When is the next level of training?" And I'm a successful graduate of their entire program. So proud of that. Just because I have such a new mental framework and awareness of what leadership at a personal level really means. And I'm not perfect, guys. I'm on the journey.
Yeah, it's funny because as real estate agents, I've seen people just work so hard on just training about real estate, but they never really work on themselves, right? The personal development is something they really don't focus on. And when I do my budget every year, James, that's the first thing I look at is what am I going to do to actually grow myself as a human being? Because when that grows, you're mentally tough, you're in a good place spiritually and physically, all those things contribute, right? All those things contribute to your business success. And so we wanted to let you guys know about this because it's coming up. And if you have any interest, please PM us, let us know because we have discount codes we can offer because we're graduates and this is life-changing stuff. And I don't think I've certainly not talked about it enough. So I'm pretty excited about what's going on here in February.
Yeah, I invite everybody that I care about significantly. And I would say that we all could use a little self improvement for ourselves. And, if you're tithing 10%, then 10% to God or your church or whoever you believe in, 10% to yourself. And the self improvement plan is amazing. And again, money back guarantee. I would also say this uh, I personally would guarantee it. You can get, if you go past the 30 days and Clemmer won't refund you, call me. I'll refund you personally. I mean, I guarantee you will be a different person. And if you just want more, better, different, you may not even have a goal, but man, you just know there's got to be more to life than what you're currently living. There is no better place to start than Clemmer.com. And if you would like to do it in more of a Christian based setting, they have a course called The Quickening. It's the exact same course. It just includes all the Bible scriptures. So it's either Personal Mastery or The Quickening, one of the two courses, pretty much the same content. One has the scriptures, one does not. But if you care about another significant person, you're in a relationship, you're single, you're divorced, you're separated, change your life forever. If you're a business owner, change your life forever. You are just getting started in life, change your life forever. You just filed for divorce, change your life to forever. You have all your teeth falling out, change your life forever. Whatever you want, man, you can create more, better, different. I guarantee it.
So this is great. Let's go back to what makes our training system so awesome, right? I mean, you've been doing this a long time. Hundreds of people you've trained, perhaps thousands over your career, right? And when you look at what's going on in the industry now, James, there's so much change, right? A lot of change coming, a lot of AI, a lot of different systems. The industry's constantly changing. So what are you doing to adapt with your training? Where have you gotten some of this secret sauce? How do you get to these people on your team to produce so many escrows? So what's the future look like? How are we different?
Well, I would say number one, we just help people come from personal responsibility. Number one, we have to take responsibility for where we are. And I don't mean Jeff and I need to take responsibility. I mean you as an individual. You have to not be the victim in your story. You have to realize that if you have a belief in your mind, well, nobody's buying because interest rates are high. No one's buying because interest rates are high. If that's your belief, guess what? You're going to look for evidence to support that because you want to be right. So if your self-image and self-concept is no one's buying because interest rates are high, you win. You're right. So what? You're broke. That doesn't help you win. And so one of the things that we're really good about is helping people get clear on their personal responsibility about What are they going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do about it? So what? So nobody's buying. So what are you going to do about it? And so the other thing we do is we recognize that we don't have to be the expert. We don't have to have the answer. What we have to do is introduce you to the person that does have your answer for your specific problem. And so we can make introductions and get you inside the right room so that you can have exposure. You can take the scales off your eyes and you can then see what you could not see before. If you go to the Clemmer training, you will have an amazing awareness of sunglasses and what sunglasses do in your life. And they make you ignorant to all the other possibilities. You know, there's a whole world outside of real estate. There are billions of dollars walking all around you. And if you don't have sales, you don't have any money and you think the economy's crap. For some people, the economy is amazing. For some people, it's always amazing. And other people, it's crap. And that's why some people sell sunglasses and sandals, and other people sell, what do they sell? Umbrellas. Because sometimes it rains and sometimes it's sunny. And so we've got to have contingency plans. So we're really good about getting people to take responsibility, to really come from responsible and really get themselves in the right rooms. And more importantly, every week we have a check-in. Every week, when you have a weekly check-in, and it actually goes into a daily check-in, when you're focused like a laser beam, not a light bulb, a 60-watt light bulb lights up the whole room. A 60-watt laser cuts through anything. And same 60 watts, it's focused attention. And so we get people checking in every week, and we get them checking in every day with an accountability pod. And we get really clear on a couple of things you're trying to accomplish. And if you get focused on anything, you will move things. You will cause some things to change. Right now, you're saying yes to too much stuff. We got to clear your calendar and say no to a lot more stuff so you can get focused on the right activities, the things that make money, the things that move the needle. And we don't tell people what that is. We ask, what's moving the needle look like for your business? Great. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, we're saying yes to too many things. And when you say yes to so many things, you're saying no to the most important things. You guys are doing accountability on a weekly basis. And without accountability, we're going to fail in this business. People get involved because they want to be a 1099 self-employed freedom person. And then that's why they end up getting out of the business or failing, because they run out of money, and they run out of money because they don't understand the accountability is at the center of success. And you were talking about how everybody comes into this with different sunglasses, right? You might wear blue sunglasses. I might have red sunglasses. So I'm seeing everything in red. You're seeing everything in blue. And essentially I'm trying to back up that narrative I have with proof. I'm trying to find that evidence, right? Even if my narrative is completely jacked up, I'm looking for something to support that narrative. And you're coming in there and you're busting that narrative up by asking tough questions, right? And basically saying, hey, this is what we see in you, right? And not very many people are doing that in the real estate training world.
Well, I'll give you an example. So Jeff gave you my bio at the start. You know what he told you? He told you the highlights. He told you what he thought might be important for you to hear. You know what he didn't tell you? The other part of it? He didn't tell you the oldest of 10 kids. He didn't tell you, didn't meet your real father. James didn't meet his father till he was 30 years old. He didn't tell you James was sexually abused by his stepdad. He didn't tell you that, his 4 ex-wives have really left him feeling broken and rejected. He didn't tell you that James probably takes more no's from buyers and sellers than almost anybody on his team, because he's driven to be the very best person to set an amazing example. And again, not perfect, but also not going to be a victim. Going to come from responsible. And I'm not going to say I can't win because of my stepdad. I'm not going to say I can't win because I was adopted by my stepdad. Or I'm not going to say I can't win because I didn't meet my dad till I was 30 and I didn't have a close personal relationship with him. I'm going to say, in spite of all that, the devil's a liar, and that I know that I have an assignment on earth and I can set captives free from whatever prison they're living in, based on an awareness they need to have about self-discovery and leadership in themselves. And they don't have to be satisfied. They can find a breakthrough. And it may not be real estate. I'm perfectly fine with people not winning in real estate. I'm just not okay with them not winning at all. And so that's what get me fired up. And I just happened to choose real estate because I thought, holy crap, this is like a low barrier to entry. I don't have to own a house. I don't have to pay for the house. I take my pen and I put some ink on a piece of paper and you're going to hand me a check for that? Holy crap, that's amazing. I don't own a Circle K and have to spend $100,000 on burgers, fries, and a shake or an In-N-Out burger and pay a franchise fee or McDonald's $1 million. Holy crap. And I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I can just steal the hubcaps. And so I'm just so excited that I'm at a company that introduces me to the right people in the right rooms. And my sponsor is amazing. And then I get a chance to share that with Jeff. And Jeff goes, holy crap, James is amazing. Let me introduce some people to James. Man, when you lock arms with people and they want to win, man, you can get some stuff done.
Thanks for sharing that, James. That was powerful, man. Before the podcast, we were talking about the 3 types of people, right? And some people hate losing more than they love winning. Isn't that what you said?
Oh, yeah. Well, it comes from Tim Grover's book. The book is called Relentless. He talks about 3 levels of winning. And he said the coolers basically are the people that show up and they do their job and they're great employees and they're great workers, but they're coolers. They keep their cool and they do the job. And then there's the closers, and everybody loves to be a closer. You know, when the pressure's on, they step up, they get the job done. Closers, that's the way. And a lot of professionals hang out there as a closer. And what Tim Grover said is there's a whole nother level called the cleaner. And the closers love to win. And some people are competitive and they love to win. But the cleaners not only like to win, but the cleaners are driven by a hatred of losing. And so they hate to lose more than they love to win. And so, your whole life can be win, 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 win. And then they're losing in one area and that fires them up. And a cleaner says, I want to be clean and complete. I want to be whole and well-rounded. It's not enough to be a closer. I want to be a cleaner. And they hate to lose. And so take a look at your life and find an area that you're losing. Maybe you're losing on the scale. Maybe you make a ton of sales and you're like, I used to be, weighed 305 pounds. Maybe a win for you is you didn't gain 5 more pounds this week. You count that as a win. You only gained 3 pounds, not 5 pounds. So you won. Well, you still gained 3 pounds. Or you say, I'm winning, except I don't have a relationship with my kids. I'm losing there. Or I'm winning, but I don't talk to my brother. I don't talk to my mom or my dad. I don't know. Find an area in your life where you're like, yeah, I'm closing. Oh, I'm losing here. Then step up and say, all right, if I hated losing, what would that look like if I became a cleaner? And I love the context of Tim Grover's book, Relentless. And we've Jeff and I run a weekly accountability group on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. Arizona time. We'd like each of you to be our guest. No charge, totally free. I don't even care if you're in real estate. Show up, bring 3 commitments and a 90-day goal. We're going to run right now till April 14th is our 90-day run. And that's our Q1 sprint, our sales sprint. You can be in any business. Matter of fact, I have a guy in the insurance business and he's a super passionate guy, but we'd love to have you come play with us a little bit. See what you got.
We would love that. So as we come down the home stretch, James, let's pretend I'm one of your agents. I've done 6 deals last year in 2025. I want to do 12 or more next year. Give us a prescription. What would you say to me if I said, James, I want to double my business in 26?
Well, first of all, let's get clear on, there's failure. And one of my early sales trainers was Tom Hopkins. If you don't know who he is, a master sales trainer. He actually lives here in Arizona. I've been to Tom's house. I don't even know how many times. We like to do Super Bowl together at Tom's house. So failure is when you give up. That's it. Failure is just when you quit. Tom would say, I never see failure as failure, but the opportunity to change my course and correction. That's all failure is. There's no such thing. Failure is you quitting. The next thing is burnout. Burnout is you got no passion. You're burnt out. You're tired of the same old thing. Well, that's just because you don't want more, better, different. So we need to work on that. Success looks like taking yourself on. And really, for most of us, we've got a subconscious in the back of our head, a 6-year-old voice telling us what to do. Like what do 6-year-olds like to do? What do they like to have for breakfast? Like ice cream? That's what a 6-year-old wants for breakfast. You know what they have for lunch? Let's have chocolate chip cookies. So what we have to do is be the adult. And we have to say, look, as a responsible adult, I'm going to take my business from 6 transactions to 12 transactions. I will tell you that the person that mentored me, the amazing Curtis Johnson, he taught me some key performance indicators, KPIs, metrics, if you will, depending on your corporate training and background. What moves the needle? He said, James, 40 new conversations a week moves the needle. Talk to 40 new people a week. Now, I don't know if you're working a 3-day week, if you're working a 5-day week, you work a 7-day week. I don't know. Are you alive 7 days a week? Probably 7 days a week. You're talking to people. So have 40 new conversations a week. And then as you talk to the new people, find a way, get the skill set to get into a real estate conversation and ask 15 of those people. So 15 of the 40, ask them for an opportunity to sit down with them and talk to them about what you do to solve people's real estate problems. You help people buy, you help people sell, you help people invest. So 40 conversations, 15 asked for an appointment. Now you could be in person, you could be on Zoom, whatever, doesn't matter. And then from those 15 asks, you should be setting 3 to 5 appointments a week. That means a lot of people are telling you no. Cool. It's a no right now. It's a timing thing. Not right now. Okay, great. So you're going to set 3 to 5 appointments a week. That means you're going to be able to hold 1 to 5 appointments a week. If you're meeting with 1 to 5 people a week and you can keep the pace 6 weeks in a row, you cannot help but start getting an escrow a week. The numbers are undeniable. If you can't do it, you will start getting an escrow a week. So if you sold 6 homes last year and you track your numbers, I'll go back and show you just didn't talk to enough people. So you just got to talk to more people. Coach Michael Burke says you don't need more money. You need more relationships. You're in a relationship marketing business, no matter what business you're in. So Jeff talked about it earlier, right? We talk about John Maxwell's 21 irrefutable laws. And one of the laws is called the law of the lid. And Jeff said earlier, if you don't self-improve and raise your leadership level, then there's no room underneath you for any business partners, for any other people to collaborate. So we've got to raise our leadership lid. So we've got to have more real estate conversations and more conversations with people in general. We are here on the earth on assignment, and we're collaborating to help people get what they say they want, what's important to them. People don't do what you want. I can barely get myself to do what I want. How would I get someone else to do something? You ever wanted to lose 10 or 20 pounds and you've been working on it for 20 years? I mean, you say you want it and you can't even get it done. So people are only going to do what they want to do. So let's find out what do they want to do, and let's show them how they can have what they want if we just work together and get it done. So if I could ever help you or serve you in any way, and I know Jeff's probably the same way, you reach out, let us know. We'd love to try to make a difference in your life and make the world a better place.
Amen, brother. You know, there was a guy named Charlie Tremendous Jones, and he was a great motivational speaker. And he said, the person you're going to be 5 years from now is no different from the person you are today, except for the people you hang around with and the books you read. James and I are inviting you into our collaboration. We collab all the time. We're inviting you into a great place to be where we know how to get people productive because we've been in the seat for a long time doing it. I think collectively, James, we got like 50 years in doing this. So
Yeah.
we're ready. We're ready to help.
And it's not a trudge. I mean, it's fun. I don't know. I'm having so much fun, more fun than I've ever had. Come to our Tuesday 8 a.m. meeting in Arizona time. And if you're not reading a book, join the book club. I got a book club Monday at noon. We're reading an amazing book called Flip the Switch by Coach Michael Burke. We'd love to have you.
Right on. All right, James, any last words before we say goodbye?
Let's get some stuff going on, man. Let's go change the world.
All right, guys. Jeff Sutherland Show with the great James Wilson. Let us know how we can support you. Have an awesome day.